because of the sound condition. What do you guys think? All right, everybody can hear me? Everybody cool? Rock and rolling? All right, do they say that in Malaysia? I mean, I've been here so many times, but do they still use words like you rock if it's good? If somebody's like really good, they say he rocks or she rocks? Yeah, okay, cool. So I can use that slang here. In other words, that sometimes are a little challenging in the vocabulary. But I was saying I shouldn't be here. And any of you who have challenges getting up in front of a group, or perhaps approaching somebody you might be interested in, hopefully we can change those in one day. I had a severe social phobia for years. I was afraid of people, especially women I found attractive. So if I saw a woman I found attractive, and if she just happened to be walking in my direction, I would move out of the way. But friends of mine had what they called girlfriends, and they looked very happy. So I wanted one of those. So they'd bring me to a party or a social gathering. I'd sit down and just sit there, and before time, a few minutes, or maybe sometimes even 15 minutes, somebody would actually be coming and approaching me. And I'd think to myself, she's not coming here. Oh my gosh, she is coming here. What am I going to do? And of course, I didn't say it. I was just feeling all these feelings, and my body literally would shake. And she'd be getting closer and closer, and she'd say, hi. And I'd go, I'll be right back. And I'd leave, and I'd leave. And at one point, I had to make a decision about doing something about it. And for me, it took a long, long time, because I wasn't really involved in the hypnotic process then. But you see, all change that's going to be permanent happens on the unconscious, subconscious, superconscious, reactive, inner creative level. That's just the way it is. If it doesn't happen here, it's not going to happen. You can say things 20, 30, 40, 50, 1,000 times to yourself. If it's not ingrained in there, the change is not going to happen. Now, nothing stays exactly the same. We either become better or we become worse. We're either closer to something we want, or we're moving away from it in every moment in time. You can be closer to the ideal you, or all of a sudden you're further away from the ideal you. You can be closer to making the kind of money you want to make, or being further away. You can be closer to God, or further away at any moment. Nothing stays this way. There is no permanence. Everything is impermanent. So today, we're going to use that impermanence. Simply meaning that if something seems permanent for you, we're going to shift it completely. Now, change happens in a twinkling of an eye. That's how fast it is. That's twinkling of an eye. That's pretty fast for change. Well, why can't people change? Because they have to get to the point of readiness for change. See, if you're not ready for the change, you will sabotage any change. So today is also helping you get to the point of readiness, whether it be for better finances, a better relationship. We usually get about, at least in this size group, maybe 6 or 7 divorces by the end of the seminar. Now you two, I can do better than that. I'm kidding, but maybe 2 or 3. See, 1, 2, no, I'm kidding. But anyway. But the thing is this, you won't be satisfied with the status quo. You know, many people just live life and go through the motions each and every day. And that's the kind of life I had lived for many years. My background is actually music. I taught music in college. I taught 5 towns college for 5 years, and I taught at the City University of New York, York College, for 2 years. In a tenure track position. I was going to be a tenured professor. I was an assistant professor at the time. I left it to do this. What's the matter with me? But music I was very good at. Why? Because I had no social life. I was afraid of people. So when I was growing up, this is before I got over that, I would practice 10, 12 hours a day on the guitar. That's why you saw those. I didn't even know I had these in my pocket. guitar picks. And one of the things in my contract is that Roy is supposed to bring a guitar for me every single time I come here. I had to wait one day this time. But of course I still play. But you see, that was my escape. That was my reason for living. That's what gave me the juice to get up in the morning. So we all have reasons to live, and we all have juice for something. We all have a certain passion. I mean, is there something that you would do really for free? If I weren't getting paid for this, I would still do this. If I were independently wealthy, well, I am, I would still do, not quite, but I'm working on it. But I would still do this. If you can do something and still want to do something, and you don't need the money, you're doing the right thing. It's like the old saying, and so many people say this from Brian Tracy and a lot of these fantastic trainers. They tell you, you have to work not on your job, or Jim Rohn said that many times, but on yourself. And if you work on your job, you'll make a living, as Jim Rohn said. Jim Rohn's America's business philosopher. He had passed on last year, 2010. And he said, if you work on yourself, you can make a fortune. So I have to applaud you for coming here today, because you work. You want to applaud? Yeah. For working yourself. See, I just started. I'm getting an applause already. I mean, no, that applause was for you. All right. Can we do this in one day? Yeah. I haven't done this one-day workshop in a few years. I put it together in around 1842. I put it together in 2007. It's the first time I did it. I did it for a couple of years, and then I stopped. And Roy said, why don't you do the one day? I said, gee, I haven't done it in so long. Yeah, it's great. So I dug up the workbook. No, I didn't. I couldn't find the workbook. Then I finally found the workbook. I found pieces of it, and I put it back together again. So yes, this can be done in one day. Are you going to be certified? Of course not, because organizations require a certain amount of hours. You know, college is very funny. It doesn't matter what you learn and whether you learn, as long as you put in the hours. And of course, get a grade, so you can regurgitate the stuff. It's about hours. If you want to satisfy the Department of Education in the United States, it's about the hours. It's not even the quality, it's about the hours. It may be the same here. So with the certification, certainly it's about the hours also. But today, you're going to be able to hypnotize yourself, other people, and you will have the ability to actually go down, up, around, through, and work on other people who are friends of yours, or even people who you may just meet, and you'll be able to use language in a way that you'll be more persuasive. You see, those of you who study NLP must have heard this 1,000 times, that the quality of your life is the quality of your communication, and your ability to communicate and how you communicate. I mean, think about it. Life is a negotiation. On a job, on a relationship. I have a phenomenal partner in my life. When I say partner, well, in a way she's a business partner also, but my wife. And the reason our marriage works so well is because of the communication we have. Now, I'm not easy to live with. I'm the first one to admit it. I'm a royal pain in the... But my wife knows how to deal with me. But one thing she really appreciates, that she said, oh, well, hopefully hear others, but she says she really appreciates this thing about me, and that is that I apologize. Because I have a lot of emotion, a lot of passion. I say, oh, how could they do it? I told them 40 times I called them about this, and still they're doing it that way. And we're supposed to do that seminar next week here, or whatever it may be. I'm explosive. My wife is gentle, but she knows how to control me. She looks at me and says, sweetheart. I said, listen, well, you know, sweetheart, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry, baby. So the thing is, also, the communication is so good. So in your cases, too, men, if you don't apologize, learn how. It's not a macho thing to apologize many times. But I tell you, it is wonderful. You know why? Because it frees you in a way. Every time I apologize, and I do a lot of apologizing, I feel better after the apology, because I feel I sort of remedied something. If more people apologize and admit that they were wrong or something like that, we'd have less problems on this planet. All right, let's get into it. Who in this class has already been hypnotized? One person. Oh, I brought him along because I want to use him as a subject. That's the only person I'll work with. No, I'm kidding. Okay, he's been hypnotized. Now, I venture to say this. You are all living trances. Every one of you is living a hypnotic trance. And you'll see that as we go along and understand why. Because we are put in our first trance when we were a little baby. The things we hear from mom and dad, oh, you shouldn't do this, you can't do that. Oh, come on, how could you think you're capable of that? Nobody in our family has ever done something like that. Over and over, you shouldn't, you mustn't, no, 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 no. Now, do you think that penetrates this? Especially a child with an open mind? What are you doing? Shame on you. So now you're shamed. And you're doing wrong things. Over. How many parents say, oh my gosh, you are the best. You're the most loving thing on the planet. We love you so, so much. I know you spilled that on the floor, but that's okay. I'll clean it up for you. You know, I totally understand you threw your diaper at your father, but it's okay. We usually don't get that. We usually get, no, you shouldn't do this. And we're told what not to do rather than what to do. And so we sort of learn away from motivation rather than toward motivation. Well, today's going to be about toward motivation. It's not running away from what you don't want, but it's working towards what you do want. And I venture to say, there are people in this program that are going to change dramatically. And there may be some people who say, oh, you see, Martha, even that didn't work. Nothing works for me. So, if you, let's say, there's a rule of mind. It says what is expected tends to be realized. If you expect nothing, well, it's almost impossible to get nothing, virtually impossible. But you won't recognize it even if you get it, because you're looking to satisfy your criteria. See what I'm saying? We're always looking to satisfy our criteria. We're looking to validate how we feel about ourselves. So if I feel terrible about myself in any way, shape, or form, what happens? Every time I look at something, I look to see validation for that. Ah, they look at me, they know I'm stupid. Ah, they look at me, they know I borrowed this suit from Roy. You know what I'm saying? We look for the validation. So after today, I hope that'll shift for those people, and they'll look for the validation that I'm special, there's nobody else like me in the world. Perhaps I'm not doing everything I want to do now. Perhaps I've not accomplished everything I want to accomplish. But what I have is an ability. I have a potential. I have an unlimited ability to make the changes I want to change and draw into my life all the successes that I want to success. And I'm talking about emotionally, physically, spiritually, of course, in relationships, and definitely in health. How we think affects our well-being. We've heard of these spontaneous healings, and many times they're done with these preachers, and some of them are phony, some of them may be real, I don't know. But they'll say, you're healed, and a person falls down or goes through contortions like this. They couldn't speak, they'd speak. They couldn't walk, they'd walk. And sure, a lot of them are sets, they set it up and things like that, but a number of them are also true. Franz Anton Mesmer is like the father of hypnosis. He was in the 1700s. And he thought that he believed that he could attract this magnetic fluid in these iron bars and things like that. And first it was glass wands. And that people would hold these things after he touched them, of course. I mean, he was the man. He was cool. They would shake violently, and if they couldn't see, they'd see. They couldn't walk, they'd walk. They couldn't hear, they'd hear. Now, this is pretty amazing. And these were genuine healings. Now, they may have been conversion disorders, simply meaning that something emotional was creating that block, whatever it may be, but they could have been actual physical ailments. Why is it that somebody who has cancer all of a sudden has a spontaneous remission? Just because of their belief system. See, today we're going to reshape your belief systems also. See, wherever you are, if you're here, I want you here. If you're here, I want you here. And even if you're here, I want you to keep going. It's not going to stop. It's a momentum that's going to propel you to something hopefully greater than you've ever experienced before. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to get more out of this than anybody here. Because look at the energy of the group. This is phenomenal. And look where it's staring. So start staring at each other also at times. Because don't forget, we are energetic creatures. That's why you feel, sometimes you feel uncomfortable. Somebody's next to you say, I don't know what it is. There's something about that individual. Right? Or like, wow, who's that person? Oh. You like that, right? Okay, we're going to rock and roll. All right. The power to succeed. And of course, what I mean that is succeed in anything you want in life, basically. All right, let's push on. The energy of the mind, the essence of life. Now we're talking about, that's got to be like 2,500 years ago. That's a long time ago. He knew it then. Even then, he knew it. And it's only recently for some people that realize the importance of programming this part. Okay, around the globe, look at this. Business Week, advancing credibility for post-traumatic stress disorders, for nicotine addiction. A lot of people know it for stopping smoking. But let me tell you, it'll change the chemistry in your body. Because every thought has a physical response that is so important to realize that every thought has a physical response. So if you have negative stinking thinking, what kind of response are you getting in the body? Oh, I just hate my stomach. Oh, look at it. Oh, look at his stomach. Look at it. Look at this. I hate this stomach. I mean, how many people are like that? I hate my body. I hate my body. So you know what? Tell your body that enough times, the body will say, okay, I'll get sick. Because no matter what you say or what you think or what you feel, your body is listening. Okay, here, hypnosis can help. Chronic pain, anxiety, etc. Newsweek magazine. These are big magazines in the United States. You have this in your workbook, so you don't have to copy it. Okay, here, look at this. It used to be regarded as fakery. I mean, certainly a lot of hypnosis shows still propel that kind of thinking, that it's fakery, but it's not. Therapeutic uses, Scientific American, scientific! Now these people, they scrutinize everything. This is baloney, this is a fake, this is that. That's what they feel about hypnosis. Pretty far out, huh? Oh, I said this already. We are all in a post-hypnotic trance, which was created when? In our early infancy. And a lot of people, the rest of their lives, they're looking to change that somehow. And most don't have the capacity to. That's pretty sad. Pretty sad. Hey, look at this. Alternative approach to schizophrenia. Do you think he was using hypnotic techniques? All right. This guy here, Spiegel, he, of course, is Stanford University. One of the top medical centers in the United States. Natural occurring, enhancing control over what? Over both mind and body. So it's not just me speaking this. I mean, these are some of the top experts in the world who are saying this. And a lot of this has been fairly recent, because for years, hypnosis had a bad rap. It's like, oh, yeah, you're going to control me. No, I'm going to help you gain more control of yourself and your life. It's about giving the person more control rather than controlling them. Now, there are those people who get off on controlling others. I mean, would you like to have a couple puppets around saying, get me a drink, get me a sandwich, give me that little stool so I can just put my feet up? After a while, I don't know, I think that would get boring. Can you still hear me in the back? Okay. I think that would get boring after a while. You know what? I don't ask my wife, get me an orange juice. No, I get my own orange juice, and I say, would you like one also? Yeah. Okay, I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
The volume is cutting in and out.
Oh, the volume is cutting in and out in the back. Okay. All right, how about now? Is it better? Is it still cutting out, dropping out? Who's that guy? Are you from America? No. We got a lot of those in America. I didn't think I'd get it here. Okay, how's that coming out there?